So why does it seem like you've lost all of the friends that you once had? And if you hadn't lost all of them, you've lost most of the friends that you once had. You know, at one point in life, you had a lot of friends. Your friend circle was huge, right? But as the years went on, you've noticed that the amount of friends that you have has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. Why is that? What happened? Well, many people that are in their mid to late 20s, 30 and older, can relate to what I'm saying. Earlier in their life, they had a lot of friends. Friends they would hang out every weekend with, friends they would go different places with. But as the years went on, the number of friends that you had just gets lower and lower. Well, I'll tell you some various different reasons as to why this is the case. I'm going to tell you why you lost all your friends that you once had, or most of the friends that you once had. One of the reasons I have here is that it's pretty simple. People change. People's interests in life change. People's priorities in life change. And this is caused by various different life experiences, whether they're negative or positive life experiences. Right? Maybe you had a friend that you like to, hang out at the bar and watch sports with, maybe drink with, and they decided that they don't really want to drink anymore, and they're just not that interested in sports anymore. Well, naturally, if you all bonded over something like that, then the friendship is going to fade off that alone. Because the very thing that you all talked about all the time, bonded over, that very thing is just something that they're not interested in anymore. And so you all can no longer bond over that. And if there's nothing else that you all can bond over, well, unfortunately, that'll cause a friendship to end. And a lot of times it just ends up being a thing where it just kind of fades away. Right? One person stops communicating, you may or may not try to communicate, or they may or may not try to communicate. And, after a while, the communication just stops. It's not very abrupt. It just gradually fades away. That's what happens a lot of times. People change. Right? And I guess this is where the saying goes, where people say that their friends switched up on them. Right? Where people just lose interest over things that they originally had interest in and that they bonded with people over. And then they kind of just stop. People change. And that happens. There's not really anything wrong with that. I guess we can say with this too, people grow apart. This could be considered growing apart as well. Your interests change, your priorities change. Maybe they just don't have the time to go out or watch sports or whatever. Maybe they have a family, and that's another thing. right? People start, yeah, that's another thing. People start families. And with a family, naturally, you're just not going to have the time that you once had to hang out with friends, to communicate with friends, right? And that right there can cause a strain on a friendship, and that can cause a friendship to gradually fade away as well. It's unfortunate, but it happens, right? Because having a family takes up a lot of time. It's a huge responsibility, right? Family first. Family first, right? There's nothing wrong with someone prioritizing their family over other things in life. That happens. You try your best to maintain your friendships when you start a family, but sometimes it can be difficult for some people, especially if there's somebody that has like multiple kids. It can be difficult, right? Now, there's people that still are able to maintain good friendships while having a family. But if it's not like a really strong friendship, a lot of times it just fades away. But the strongest friendships will still remain even though this person has a family, right? Because y'all still have the same interest, right? Y'all still bond over the same things, right? Y'all still agree on a lot of stuff. And that's not the thing that changed. The thing that changes, they just don't have the time, right? To hang out and talk or whatever. That's why I say the strongest friendships will remain in a case like this where someone has a family. But if it's not a strong friendship, like I said, it's going to fade away, unfortunately. And you have to be okay with that. It's life. It's okay. Another thing that happens is that people move. They move cities, move states. And what happens is it basically turns into, I guess you can call it a long distance friendship, if you will. It's kind of what it is, but like I said, this is another case where the strongest friendships will still remain, even though you live hundreds of miles away, thousands of miles away. But those friendships that aren't really strong like that, they're going to fade away. You're going to lose those friendships that weren't strong. That's why you see you're losing friends, because of these reasons, right? When you move, if you're not communicating regularly and you don't live in that same city as your friend, naturally the friendship just fades away, and it's okay. Another thing is people focus on careers. They prioritize their careers over their friendships. They work lots of hours, and now they're too tired to hang out with their friends, or they just don't have the time to really dedicate towards a friendship because they're prioritizing their career, they're prioritizing making money, and that's just what happens sometimes. When you prioritize making money too much, you lose friends. And this also happens with family too, right? If someone prioritizes making too much money and they're not spending enough time with their family, and that's a bad thing on a family as well. But on a friendship, that can really cause a friendship to fade away, because now you don't ever have time to hang out or talk or anything or communicate with them at all. And then you just kind of stop talking to them. It fades away. You've just lost that friend. They prioritized making money. They prioritized their career over their friendships. It's just what happens in life, y'all. It's unfortunate. Right? Well, got some more reasons for you. Some people betray you. Right? Some friends betray you. Some friends you lose trust in. Right? They talked about you behind your back. They stole from you. Right? And I mean, we can get into things that are real bad. Maybe your friend, they were trying to get with your spouse behind your back. Yes, this happens a lot. They broke your trust. You cannot trust this person anymore. Right? Or they just did some shady stuff in general to you. Right? Now, in a case like that, many times when you're caught up in a situation with your friend, you would cut them off immediately. That's a case where a friendship abruptly ends right then and there. Or maybe y'all had a disagreement and got personal, and they started telling you how they really feel about you. Oh, you ain't nothing. Yeah. Your friends tell on themselves when they get upset about a difference in opinion. Maybe that's what happened. Cut that friendship off right then and there. Some people lose friends that way. All these reasons. Your friends are steadily, you're just losing them. And this is all happening, right, in your 20s, your 30s. So by the time you're in your 30s, it feels like you done lost all your friends. Or maybe this happened in your mid to late 20s. Or maybe you still have a few friends left, but you've lost a lot of friends, and now you only have a few of them left. What else? Maybe it's just a case of two different paths in life. You notice that they're going down the wrong path and you're going down the right path. Say you have a steady career, a good job, or you're just doing good things in life. You're progressing in life, right? And here they are. They've fell into a life of crime, a life of going in and out of jail, going in and out of prison. And you tried to help this person over and over. You gave this person a place to stay, right, while they get back on their feet, right? You've given this person money with no expectation of being paid back, right? You have done everything in your power to help this person out. And they steadily screw up and do the same old thing over and over that lands them in and out of jail, lands them in and out of prison. And they just make excuse after excuse They refuse to change, right? They say they're going to change, but remember, actions speak louder than words. So they say they're going to change, but then it's like they don't change. They just do the same thing over and over. Why? Why do they do that? Right? Because they're comfortable. They fell into this life and they don't really want to get out of it. And they know that you're nice enough to give them money, give them a place to stay. But you notice they're your friend, but it's like you can't really help this person. And this person, in a sense, now is kind of just using you. They're taking advantage of your kindness, and now you're going to have to cut that friend off. Right? Unfortunately. You don't really want a friend that goes in and out of prison anyway. Right? But they were your friend before they fell into that life of crime, and now you feel the obligation to help them out because they're your friend. Meanwhile, you got a steady career, a steady job. You making $100,000 a year. You got a nice apartment in a nice part of town, and here you have this friend who's doing the polar opposite. There's nothing you can do at that point. What can you do other than to cut them off? They're going to have to figure it out on their own. Because it's mentally draining to you, right? You might have your other friends telling you, hey, it's not worth it. But you're still steady trying to hang on to this friendship, even though this person is just... it's just sad. So people lose friends that way. Right? It's unfortunate. But by the time that many people are 30 years old, many have lost most of the friends they've had when they were younger, right? Friends they had in high school, college, friendships they made in their early 20s. By the time they're in their late 20s, 30s, most, if not all, of those friendships have faded away. And then, of course, we know that as you get older, it's harder to make friends because of some of these reasons, right? People have families, careers, right? It's more difficult as you get old, especially if you're 30 or 40 years old. Although there are, different activities you can do that could present the opportunity for you to make friends, such as volunteering or, going to different groups and stuff, like a running group or a biking group or something like that. And you're open to meeting new people. That's an option. But then, many times those just become acquaintances. They don't really become true friends. Because remember, at the end of the day, they might have a family, a career, and, and then you might not even be open to this person like you once were. You might not be as open of a person that you were when you were younger because of the things that have happened with all your other friends, right? Your friends did some shady stuff behind your back, and that can kind of make it to where you're not really open to meeting new people and making new friends, and that can be a problem as well. And so it's just the unfortunate reality of of life. That's life. And you have to be okay with that, right? You have to be content with that, right? Just be happy with yourself. Be happy with being alone sometimes. It's okay to be alone at times. Nothing wrong with that, right? That's why you've lost most, if not all, of your friends due to the reasons I stated earlier. Right? And so that's about it for this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.